Okay, so we usually wait a little bit into the episode before they start acting up. Which way is that? That way. Um, but they're really feeling with it today. So they're going crazy already. Um, Also, I am begging whoever it is that is in charge, dear Lord, dear deep state, can we please take a chill pill? The last 2 weeks, I am exhausted. I am exhausted. I actually wasn't even going to film today because I haven't felt very good the last day or so. But then Biden dropped out of the race, man. So we're going to talk about that. And we're also going to talk about a little bit of the residual fallout from the attempted assassination of Trump, because that is what I originally had planned. So yeah, we're going to truck right through because that's all we can do at this point. But before we get into any of that, you guys know the routine. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Give this video a thumbs up. It would mean so much to me. If you are listening on Spotify, give the show a rating and a follow over there. All of my other social medias are linked down below. I highly recommend you check out my X because things are always unhinged and a blast over there. But with all of that, my name is Noelle. This is Just Say No. Let's get into it. All right. First, we will address the elephant in the room. President Joe Biden has dropped out of the presidential race. He is no longer seeking re-election in 2024, which is just a couple of months away. Now, I'm glad that he did this early rather than waiting until like an October surprise, because I think it gives the Republican Party more time to put their campaign together against presumably Kamala Harris. Please God. But we will see. I just don't know who else is going to want to jump into this mess. And also there's an issue with the campaign funding. I mean, all of the funding that they've received is tied to their ticket, so if she doesn't run, I don't know. I don't think that they're going to be able to use that money, so there's a lot here. Now, Biden announced this with an announcement on Twitter. We got that right here. My fellow Americans, we've made a lot of progress, yada, yada, yada. Right here, you will see it has been the greatest honor of my life to serve you as your president. And while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term. Contrary to everything that we have been sold and told for the last 3 years, we've been told that he is completely capable, completely with it. Over the last couple of weeks, especially after the debate, with all of the attention that has been on us, or on him rather, he has been so adamant that he is with it and seeking re-election. So I want to know what changed. That's what I would like to know. Now, in this initial statement, he did not say that he is endorsing Kamala Harris. However, here we see that he did endorse her. My very first decision as party nominee in 2020 was to pick Kamala Harris as my vice president, and it's been the best decision that I've made. Today, I want to offer my full support and endorsement for Kamala to be the nominee of our party. Miss Clinton as well endorsed her. Down here at the bottom, it says, "Now is the time to support Kamala Harris and fight with everything we've got to elect her. America's future depends on it." There's all of that. Now, I saw someone on X say that Biden did not drop out because he is senile. He dropped out because America caught on to this fact. And that resonates. That feels very, very true, because we've known that he has been in mental decline since he got elected in 2020. And the legacy media has spent that time lying to us and telling us that he's fine and that his aides can't even keep up with him and he's doing cartwheels behind the stages and just all of this gobbledygook. And now they can't hide it anymore. He seriously took a turn for the worst over the last couple of weeks, frankly. So today is July 21st that I'm filming this, and as of July 19th, Biden was still in the race, and according to polls, he was doing horrifically. According to 270 to win, Trump was leading in every single swing state by a decent margin. So that would be Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Wisconsin. He was up in every single one, and he was actually only down in New York by 7.5 points. So it's obvious why Democrats chose to have Biden step down. They didn't really have much of another choice. But this decision does leave a couple questions on everyone's mind. First and foremost, does Joe Biden know that he's no longer running? That is the one that I think we need the answer to first. Secondly, if he is unfit to run again, how is he fit to remain president? Questions that I would like the answer to. I think the answer has something to do with the fact that he's not actually running anything. But once again, I will remove my tinfoil hat. And 3, who is going to be the person to replace them? As we've covered, he has endorsed Harris, and so has the Clintons. As of right now, those are the only people that I know. I'm sure more will come out. I just don't know that she fares any better than Joe Biden does, especially against Trump. I mean, frankly, the Biden-Harris ticket is probably going to go down in history as one of the most unpopular tickets ever. They are so incredibly unlikable. According to 538, Trump is beating Harris between 2 to 5 points. Not one poll over the last week or so shows her winning. Now, they could not run Kamala Harris. If Biden were to be replaced by Whitmer, Trump would go down by 1. If he were to be replaced by Shapiro, Trump would be down by 4. So it's important to remember that this election is not over yet. It is not even close to over, especially now that Biden has officially stepped down. It definitely sends it on a different trajectory, and we have to keep our head in the game. I gotta get my head in the game. We have to get out there and vote. We have to continue to talk about the election because we cannot take a win for granted. We absolutely cannot. But that is all that I have on that front. We're going to move on to what I originally had planned for this episode. I am sure that more information, Biden said that he was going to give a statement at some point this week with more information about why he's stepping down, presumably, or how he came to the decision. We shall see. Maybe we'll talk about it if any of it is in English. All right, so last week, we talked about the left-wing streamer, Destiny. This guy has been making the most abhorrent, the most vile statements in regards to the shooting that took place last Saturday, where a man lost his life, 2 others are seriously injured, and former President Trump was shot in the ear. And he's just been digging himself further and further into this hole. He went on Piers Morgan and defended his positions. And for those of you who didn't watch last week's episode, I urge you to do so. But just a very quick recap, his stances are nothing short of, fuck that firefighter, he deserved to die. So isn't he pleasant? Now, he continued to do streams and make posts on X with this stance. And Musk ended up seeing it and paused his ad revenue on the app. And the app Kick ended up completely removing his account from their app or their website. Oh, God, I'm getting old. How old did that sound? Jeez. Okay. Now, there have been a lot of people who have either denounced this entirely or supported it entirely, and I feel like my opinion on this is a little bit more nuanced. So on the X front, I completely disagree with Elon Musk's choice to pause his ad revenue. I think that if a specific advertiser were to approach Musk and say, hey, I don't want whatever it is I'm selling to be shown next to these types of posts, that's completely fine. That is on the part of the advertiser. But for Musk to step in as essentially a third party, I completely and full-heartedly disagree with that. And I have 2 main reasons. One is that Musk bought Twitter under the guise of wanting to have complete free speech, right? Wanting it to actually act as a public square. And by stepping in this way, he is kind of counteracting that. And secondly, while what Destiny has been saying has been disgusting and vile, it's not illegal. And I think that is the most important thing here. These people need to be able to air out their dirty laundry and get judged by the public accordingly. But to have third parties like Elon Musk is in this situation step in and interfere, I am very much against this. Now, this is where it gets nuanced. Kick deleted his account, and I'm perfectly okay with that. because Kick does not claim to be a free speech platform. And this seems to be more in line with live by the sword, die by the sword. And I don't care. For me personally, I think that Musk is representative of people who are more center to right. And I don't want our values to sink down to that same level. So yeah, that's pretty much my stance on it. So you have that situation, but then you also have the situation that happened with Jack Black and his band Tenacious D. I'm pretty sure that that's what that is. But if you missed it, I think it was the day it happened or maybe the day after. I believe it was the day they were on stage and his bandmate and best friend said, don't miss Trump next time.
Make a wish, Canada. Don't miss Trump next time. Thank you.
And obviously this was not taken well because that's a foul and vile thing to say. Both Jack Black and Kyle have put out statements apologizing for this. I will put them up on the screen if I can find them. But the damage has essentially already been done here. Jack Black canceled the rest of the tour. Now, him canceling the tour may be in part due to the fact that people reportedly started calling up venues that were upcoming in the show and complaining. And I think that that's completely fair, to be honest with you. I think this is an instance of the market working, and Jack Black is rich and famous, and he will be fine, and he will bounce back from this, because at the end of the day, these venues have to look out for their brand. And if enough people are calling them saying whatever it is you say in that kind of a phone call, yeah, they're going to want to protect their bottom line and protect their profit. And at this point, having Tenacious D would be a huge liability, presumably. And when you think about how brands have to look out for their image, you think about people, for example, Lily Gaddis, which if you don't know who she is, she's a real class act, you guys. She's the girl who went viral a couple of months back for posting videos using a hard R and just being as rage baity as absolutely possible to get her 15 minutes, and it worked. Good for her, I suppose. She ended up losing her job because people were calling her employer and saying, hey, your employee is doing this. And so, of course, her employer, what else are they going to do? You know, they have to protect their brand image. And that brings us to the final story I think that we're going to talk about, which is the tirade that Libs of TikTok has been on X, which is just, I don't know if she's still doing it, but it was a little bit excessive in my opinion. She was posting average Americans left and right who had said vile things. Yes, things such as it's a shame he missed and stuff like that, and getting them fired from their jobs. I obviously disagree with the sentiment that these people shared, but I think there's a larger conversation that we can have here. One story that really stuck out to a lot of people was this guy found this woman who had posted something on Facebook at her place of employment, which was Home Depot, and confronted her while she was working. And Home Depot ended up firing her because, again, they have to protect their brand and their image. And it's just, was that necessary is my question. I sincerely feel like there's such a difference and we can't treat everything with the same level of gravity as someone like Jack Black's friend Kyle saying something like that in front of a crowd of hundreds of thousands of people, and this grandma who works at Home Depot who posted something on her personal Facebook page that was only seen by probably 3 of her hometown friends. These are 2 different situations. These are 2 completely different things. And it just feels a little bit excessive to me. And I brought up Lily Gaddis earlier, who at the time was just an average person when she was posting these videos, and she got fired. And I think the difference there is, I think that was her goal. Her goal was to incite that, rile up anger and get attention, rage bait her way into being famous so she wouldn't have to work there. That was her goal, right? And I think when we're going after these average Americans, especially people who are older, this woman was older. Does she have an absolutely disgusting, vile sentiment to share? Yeah, absolutely. But she's sharing it to no one. I mean, I don't know. I think that we have to use some discretion in these kinds of situations. And I just think this was wrong. I think that it's actually pretty counterproductive to the movement to take it to this extent. Now, all of that said, I do think it would also be different if this older woman's boss saw the things that she posted on Facebook just organically and that caused her a problem. I think that that would be completely reasonable. Again, the brand has to protect its image, but to go out of our way to bring it to the employer's attention when probably 5 people total saw this, I just don't know that that's doing what we think it is. But I'm curious to see what you guys think about all of this. It's been such a long 2 weeks. It feels like every time I open anything, there's just something else going on, and it is exhausting. I'm sure you guys are exhausted as well. But we just got to keep getting on and make sure you go out and vote in November. I'm going to be reminding you guys that every single week. But with that, that's all I got for you guys. So thanks for tuning in, and we will chat next Monday. Bye.